Imagine surviving a car accident that unlocks shocking truths about Judgment Day and the afterlife. Ethan Carter did just that, thrust into a radiant realm of love and compassion. He learned that our true purpose lies in interconnectedness. Stay with us as he reveals the profound insights that could change everything you believe about life and death. Subscribe now to explore these transformative revelations. April 9th, 2022 started as any other day, but beneath the surface, I was deeply immersed in thoughts about my life's purpose. As I drove home, lost in my internal dialogue, everything shifted in an instant when I lost control of my car. The next thing I knew, a violent collision shattered the dull hum of my routine, and suddenly I was teetering on the edge of oblivion. Little did I know that this near-death experience would challenge everything I thought I knew about Judgment Day, and reveal shocking insights that would forever alter my understanding of existence. I remember the moment vividly. It was 5:47 in the evening when my car collided with a tree, the powerful jolt of impact shattering my world. Everything around me went completely dark, and for a fleeting heartbeat, I felt suspended in time. There was no sound, no movement, just an overwhelming emptiness that swallowed me whole. Later, emergency responders would tell my family I was clinically dead for 4 minutes and 15 seconds. My heart had stopped. My body lay motionless, but in that stillness, I was plunged into something far more chaotic. In those moments, a tide of fear and confusion washed over me. What was happening? Was this the end? Was I leaving everything behind without a proper farewell? Then, almost as suddenly as the darkness had enveloped me, it parted. It was like being pulled from a deep abyss, where every lingering doubt and anxiety faded into nothingness. Instead of the void I dreaded, I began to perceive a soft glow surrounding me. The light felt alive, breathing warmth, and it was not blinding but inviting. I couldn't comprehend what was unfolding. My emotions twisted between awe and trepidation. The profound silence was replaced with an awareness that something greater awaited me. What I encountered next was beyond anything I could have ever believed. It marked the beginning of revelations about Judgment Day. Suddenly, I found myself in a realm filled with radiant light. It enveloped me like a warm embrace, pulsing gently just like a heartbeat. Ethereal beings surrounded me, their forms shimmering in hues I had never before seen. Their presence was both calming and awe-inspiring. It was as if they were made of the very essence of love and understanding. I was struck by their serene expressions. There were no judgments here, only a profound sense of compassion that washed over my fears and insecurities like a tide. One of the beings stepped closer and met my gaze. I felt the depth of their awareness penetrating through my very soul. In a soft, melodic tone, they said, "Judgment Day is not what you think. It is about awakening to the interconnectedness of all souls." It was as if time froze, and the weight of those words reverberated within me like a distant echo that had finally found its home. My mind raced, desperately attempting to comprehend the enormity of what I was being shown. The landscape around me pulsed with life. Colors were more vibrant than I can describe, seemingly alive and breathing. Everything radiated with a brightness that stood in stark contrast to the dull shades that had colored my everyday life. Sounds harmonized into a symphony, like a sweet melody conducted by the universe itself. It was as if every note, every whisper, and every shimmer of light contributed to a grand orchestration I had never known existed. In that space, time felt irrelevant. There was only the now, and it was perfect. With each revelation I absorbed, my skepticism began to crumble like dry leaves in an autumn wind. Everything that I had confidently grasped about existence and the afterlife felt unmoored, suspended in the vastness of this new understanding. But the journey was far from over. What I would learn next would change my perspective on life itself. shaking the very foundation of my beliefs as I stood at the brink of a new reality. As the beings guided my awareness, waves of visions rushed over me like a relentless tide, sweeping me into glimpses of the future. I saw our world in turmoil, cities enveloped in chaos as nature unleashed its fury. Floods, fires, and storms raged in a relentless symphony of destruction. My heart pounded in my chest. I felt despair and helplessness wash over me as I witnessed humanity grappling with the consequences of its choices. But then, out of that chaos, something extraordinary emerged. I saw a simultaneous awakening among people, a flicker of realization igniting within them, communities coming together to support one another, individuals embracing change as they shed old beliefs that no longer served them. I felt an exhilarating rush of hope mingled with fear. Could this transformation truly happen amid such looming catastrophe? The vision sharpened, and I found myself drawn to a specific timeline. The year 2040 loomed like a distant star on the horizon. That was the moment I saw this awakening reaching a pinnacle, an era where humanity uncovers its purpose beyond mere survival, learning to exist in harmony. The thought gave my spirit wings. The shift was about love and understanding, a necessary evolution toward something greater. The emotional weight of that revelation was immense. I was frightened by the potential calamities, yet amidst that fear was a flicker of hope, a belief that humanity could awaken before it was too late. Maybe these insights were not just warnings but a call to action, a reminder that we possess the ability to forge our fate. Their message resonated deeply, reverberating through my very being, planting seeds of urgency that I couldn't ignore. Yet it felt like a heavy burden too. The clarity they showed me was awe-inspiring, but I was left to grapple with what all this meant for my own life and choices upon my return. What I would learn next tested my resolve more than any vision I had witnessed, forcing me to confront the deeper implications of my existence and the truths I would need to face when I awoke. When I regained consciousness, the world around me felt glaringly different. Colors were sharper, sounds more vibrant, and every inch of my being urged me to share what I had experienced. It was as if my senses had been recalibrated, pulling me into a new layer of reality. Yet beneath that urgency, insecurity held me back, wrapping around my thoughts like a vice. Would people dismiss my story? Could I convince them that Judgment Day is not about punishment but personal and collective growth? The very notion felt daunting. I sat with these questions in silence, grappling with my doubts. What if my friends and family rolled their eyes at me? Would they chalk it up to trauma or a vivid dream? The fear of being misunderstood was paralyzing. Here I was, carrying a message that felt monumental, yet the prospect of ridicule loomed large in my mind. I couldn't help but wonder, how do you communicate your deepest truths to a world that often thrives on skepticism? Still, amid that internal chaos, there was an overwhelming sense of purpose brewing within me. Each recollection of my experience played on repeat. Radiant beings, vivid colors, the profound message about interconnectedness. I knew deep down that I had to overcome my fears and speak up. These truths needed to reach others for their benefit and understanding. The urgency of this mission was undeniable. It felt as if my very life depended on it. So I began to share my story, cautiously at first, with close friends and family. Each time I spoke, I could feel skepticism in the air. Eyebrows raised, indifferent nods, and even a few awkward silences greeted me. It was disheartening, but what I was about to understand next was the shocking truth about my own life's purpose. Why was I so compelled to share this? What was I meant to unearth in this process? The deeper I delved into these questions, the more my reality began to unravel, leading me to insights that shook the foundation of everything I thought I knew. One of the most jarring insights I had during my experience was the realization that life is merely a preparation for a higher state of existence. To be honest, this completely shocked me. I had spent so many years focusing on material achievements, working tirelessly to climb the corporate ladder, and meeting societal expectations that I always believed defined success. But now, in that radiant realm, it all felt irrelevant. Suddenly, my priorities seemed trivial, like a child's playthings forgotten in a corner. The beings, those ethereal presences filled with warmth and wisdom, made it clear that life's true essence revolves around collective love and understanding, rather than mere success or accolades. This was a heavy burden to bear, and I felt the gravity of those words sink into my chest, each one resonating painfully yet beautifully. Now, every day feels like a balancing act, straddling my old life with this new awakening. I try to embody the teachings I received during my near-death experience, but it's not easy. Temptation taunts me, trying to pull me back into those familiar patterns of ambition and striving. As I sit in meetings or readjust to mundane tasks, I can't help but feel that nagging ache of dissonance inside. My old life seems filled with noise that contrasts sharply with the serenity I experienced in that other realm. It's a constant tug of war, but I remind myself that the true essence of existence lies in relationships, kindness, and understanding. Yet, the emotional aftermath of sharing my story has unveiled even deeper complexities. Integrating this new understanding into my life, while facing both external curiosity and my own internal conflict, has been a journey in itself. I've seen how people react with wide eyes and eagerness, seeking answers I'm still grappling to articulate. Their curiosity often feels overwhelming, leaving me to question if I'm ready to take on this role as a messenger of such profound revelations. As I stand here today, I realize that my near-death experience was just the beginning of an incredible journey, not only for myself but for everyone I encounter. Each day now feels like an opportunity to embody the lessons I learned in that radiant realm. I strive to live with authenticity, compassion, and a deeper awareness of the connections that bind us all together. It's clear to me that sharing my experience can spark meaningful conversations and perhaps even foster a desire in others to question their own existence and beliefs. One of the most profound insights I took away is that Judgment Day is not a frightening event to dread. Instead, it is a moment of awakening for our souls, a chance to embrace the truth of our interconnectedness. It calls us to shed our judgments and fears, inviting us to celebrate the love that exists between us. I find comfort in knowing that this awakening isn't just for me, but something each of us can experience if we open our hearts and minds to the possibility. If my journey resonates with you and beckons you to consider your own beliefs about life after death, I encourage you to subscribe for more stories like mine. Share this video to spread awareness, and let's engage in the comments below. I am genuinely curious. What do you believe happens after we take our last breath? Thank you for joining me on this extraordinary journey. My hope is that my story inspires you to reflect on your life's purpose and drive you to connect more deeply with yourselves and those around you. Together, perhaps we can foster a deeper understanding of what it means to be truly alive.